we are. Hey, hopefully this looks correct. This is a very weird orientation. Okay, here we are. This is weird. It feels like it's showing more than I expected to, but welcome to the live stream, y'all. Thing. I do a retouch. Retouch is on. I don't know if that changes anything or looks any better. We'll try it here for the first minute. Excuse me. But welcome to the live stream. I am Justin the Zilla, back again for another week of talking toys, another Friday night stream. Well, yeah, Friday night. It's 8 p.m. EST here in the States, surviving another day in this country. Doing our thing, living life. Yeah, but every week, always here, talking toys, talking nonsense, babbling, jabbling, babbling, yapping, just hanging out, as we always do. But yeah, hope y'all doing well. I've been doing okay, just making it through the week, surviving another week as much as I can. Just working a lot, not doing too much beyond that, and then trying to host on through with everything that's going down, especially from kind of like last week, previous weekend. Super Bowl happened. That was fun. Bad Bunny was pretty great, so that was fun. That was very cool. Yeah. Also, do want to mention, for anything really update wise, did see Iron Lung, Markiplier's new film, Mark Fishbach. If y'all don't know, that's his real name, I guess. But cool film, a lot of fun. Had a great time, yeah, with my friend seeing that. So was definitely needed to see. It was a great time. So it's very neat to kind of see a fully independent film kind of these days. You don't really see them too much. I think it's like you still see a lot of independent films, I think, still now, but they don't really get that much publicity. And it's like a lot of, I don't think, make a whole lot of like real success stories and money as well. I guess that's always the big thing, the success. But it was cool. Definitely uh, 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 yeah, definitely yeah, a movie that gets you hooked in, get you excited, hopefully, for the next one. So yeah, so Iron Lung, great kind of movie to see. I definitely recommend it if y'all haven't seen it. Great time. Was really cool. Was visually very interesting and very unique as a story. Let me make sure my live chat working. It is. But yeah, trying to think of what else for really update wise or kind of like movie or show or entertainment wise I've really seen recently. Been rewatching. I will say the original yeah, the Muppet Show, because of course on Disney Plus they had the, I think it's the 50th anniversary special. That's a long time that those have been around. It's been most of my lifetime. Well, all of my lifetime. I'm only 25. That's half my lifetime. More that they've existed before I even existed. So that's crazy. I believe so. I can't remember exactly. But been but been fun to rewatch the old show. I mean, I kind of grew up on the Muppets, with Muppet Christmas Carol specifically, kind of Muppets in Space. That was a fun movie as a kid. Even enjoyed that kind of recently, but that was a couple years ago. So haven't seen that movie in a bit, but still watch Christmas Carol every year. Watched Treasure Island, Muppet Treasure Island. That was still fun to watch. I think it kind of, aged a bit better, at least for me. And then yeah, I'm watching the original Muppet Show up to season 2. Just got to Who was it? Who's Mary Poppins? What's her name? I got to that episode. I just finished that episode yesterday. So a lot of fun rewatching the old Muppet Show. Can't wait to get to season 3 because that is the DVD set that I owned as a kid that I still own now. It's still here at my house. So fun little thing. It'll be cool to rewatch again. Love the Muppets. You gotta. And yeah, and you know, it's exciting to see that uh, that NECA did announce that they are doing a Muppets line, or they basically teased, being like, "Hey, this is coming." It's like they've already teased, of course, like in their little image. You had Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo, at least so far. Good start. I assume Miss Piggy will probably be next up. Then, trying to think who else they could do. Probably Scooter, Pepe, the whole uh, Electric Mayhem band would be cool to see as figures. Who else? Rizzo. That's my guy. And Rizzo's back. So that's cool to see, you know, after 10 plus years after they fired Steve Whitmire because of the whole backstage drama, whatever was going on there. So, you know, it's cool. It's like, and kind of hopefully, it's like I am kind of hoping that the Muppet Show will kind of be coming back. Maybe a little more, you know, classic, because with the special they were kind of doing their thing, and they were trying to, I think, keep it as close to the original, kind of like yeah, kind of like in a little pocket. I don't think it was like perfectly fitting for a episode of the Muppet Show. I yeah, it definitely felt like a kind of like, hey, here's a jumping off point. Let's see, let's test the waters, and apparently it's doing very good. So, please, I do not mind getting back the Muppets again into the zeitgeist, because I've always loved the Muppets. I think a lot of people love the Muppets. I think most people love the Muppets, but it's just how Disney has been doing their thing, where they Disneyfy everything. And I kind of agree with Frank Oz. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of Disneyfied. They're not really, you know, yeah, they've been kind of like just coasting for a bit, because of course they did the 2 movies that kind of brought back the brand in a big fold. And then they had that ABC kind of office type vibe show. I loved that show. That was a lot of fun. It's sad to see it didn't get picked up like but later on. And then they were doing like little specials here and there, and then there's the whole thing with Steve Whitmire being fired, so it felt kind of weird, specifically with Kermit changing, Matt Vogel taking over the role. He's doing okay now. I think I'm starting to get used to his Kermit, but early on I was like, it's kind of rough. It's a bit there. It's a bit nasally, if I'll be honest. That's kind of like the main thing I kind of see. Because I feel like because I feel he can do a pretty baseline Kermit pretty well, like just normal speaking, kind of reacting, be like, what? Huh? But then when it comes to like him doing like Kermit's big reactions, I've always been like, even still now, I think he's still kind of getting there. I think he needs to gain, I think, a bit more still experience and confidence. I mean, he's been playing Kermit for like 10 years, doing live shows, doing little things here and there, live events. So that's good for Matt Vogel. But there's always room for improvement. I think, anything Muppets, it's just weird, never having the original people there, but most of them just aren't around, haven't been around, so they've been replaced or have been moved on, or even in some cases with some characters just straight up retired, but they still keep the main cast, and they're all great. and they still feel like the Muppets. So that's cool. I guess a lot of Muppet talk. I've had Muppets on my mind for a while. I've been kind of obsessing over them a bit again. So, but we're here. Talk other figures, talk other franchises, all Disney. Because, of course, because they own everything now. I mean, Hulu, Fox, 20th Century Fox. Of course, they have their own Disney stuff. But then Star Wars, Marvel. Bunch of other stuff. They got so much. They own so much. But yeah, a lot of cool figures. But I will. Okay, I'll stop rambling for a second. We will get into our weekly pickups because I did pick up something pretty cool. A lot of fun. A set I've been kind of after for a bit. Been kind of like, it's like okay, I'll see. I'll get it when I get it. And I did. Want to shout out local comic shop, Rocket Comics, here in the Michigan, Kalamazoo area. Shout out to Eddie. Always a cool dude. The owner, known him for years. He's a great dude. But I picked up the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Captain America versus Venom. Basically, the Marvel versus Capcom kind of line that they've had going on here. So, really cool to finally have this. Mainly, excited for the Cap, but also, Blue Venom. I don't mind. It's a cool look. I mean, the paint isn't perfect on him. Kind of expected that, but it was the last one he had there, so I was like, you know what? The last one, for a pretty good price. I mean, it's only $60, so not bad for a modern Marvel Legend. So about 30 per. Kind of makes sense for what they're doing now. And new stuff going on, but he looks great, so definitely expect this in the near future, especially this Cap. It looks so good. And of all the stuff I've seen, it looks pretty good and feels pretty good. And then, the Venom, a nice variation, a nice version to have. And then, kind of new parts here and there to kind of make them full, but it'll be cool down the line because they'll definitely do variants of these at some point. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that they will. But doing a full black, regular Venom will be really cool, especially with this new head sculpt there. I think it's really, really neat. So, yeah, can't wait. They look great. They look awesome. The Cap specifically does work very, very well. So very, very cool. Very nice. Can't wait to see what goes on there and how these really feel. I am trying to remember what all else. Well, of course they have the Wolverine and Silver Samurai. Well, they have them back there, as you can see there. Excuse me. There's all their little bars of health. But you have the Wolverine and Silver Samurai 2-pack. Not really interested. I'm pretty good with my. I'm pretty happy with my. With the Wolverines that we have now, and this Wolverine, it's not really my style, but it looks cool. But I'm like, I don't really need it. I'm fine. With my X-Men, my '97, Wolverine. It's kind of just my classic comic one, and then even really enjoy the CT Toys brown suit Wolverine. He's my main Avengers one. He just looks great. And then, of course, with the Silver Samurai, he looks good. It's nice that they included, new parts, little upgrades here and there to give him a little, give him a refresh. But he still has kind of like that old figure feeling. So I'm like, I don't really need him too much because I have their first, the Silver Samurai, and he looks great. So I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. Don't need it. Not very much. And then have the War Machine. It looks good. Just not into the blue and black. Kind of look I'm just used to, like the silver and black look for him. And then the Omega Red, he's fine. I don't need it. I have the Wolverine kind of set, like the whole like the villain set that has the shirtless Wolverine. So I'm kind of like, I'm good. I had that. I don't need very much else. I'm all good. I'm a simple collector. I try to be, but in any case, what else? I guess from the rest of this line, um, who is it? The big eyeball dude with the with the tentacles. What's his name? It's not like what's his name? Shumagorath. It's not that because that's like a different character. It's kind of copyrighted, so they can't really use it. I can't remember what it is. It's not like Gorgon or something. I can't remember what his name is. Or Gorgon, whatever it is. But that's a cool looking figure. I'll definitely pick it up at some point. It's just a lot, and I don't really have the space. I don't even have the space for this stuff, but we're trying it. This might be my main Avengers cap for a while. I mean, we're gonna see. There's plenty of competition when it comes to caps, and when it comes to Venoms, I don't know how Venom's gonna hold out because I do have the 3-pack version where he came with Riot and the one female. That's like all purple and pink. I can't remember what her name is. But that one is my one for now. I know, like, of course, they did the Walmart exclusive, the retro carded. I was kind of like, I'll be fine for now. I'll kind of wait it out. I'm not really stressing too much. And then, especially the fact that they've made this one now, so where he's more smoother. He doesn't have like the little like the like the weird like the tentacle bits on the arms, and also pinless too now. So massive upgrade. So definitely just gonna wait probably until they do a black version of this. But I just had to pick it up for the cap and to try out this Venom and have the different looks. So yeah, it's a cool little set. Can't wait to get into it. Yeah. Who else is in that? Oh yeah, they got the new Juggernaut. He's awesome. He looks great. Maybe get him at some point. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with my Juggernaut and Colossus 2-pack version. I'm kind of okay with him for now. I don't really need that much really going on. I should really actually let me do something. There we go. But yeah. So I'm okay with with the Juggernaut for now. If I can fit him in here, because my regular Juggernaut is like he barely fits kind of right now where he is, and then to have one that's basically kind of like twice the size, even though it works pretty well for the comics. So, and it's just a nice upgrade. It just looks awesome. It just looks amazing. So we'll see, and it'll be interesting to see what more of the Gamerverse. Oh yeah. And then, of course, the Psylocke and the Thanos 2-pack. Infamous for being hard to find, except I guess for now, for certain people, where they have like 15 or like 20 at their stores, and they're on like clearance for like $50. Like, all right. I would like one. It would be nice. Maybe if I'm lucky. I don't know. But yeah. Or even if, they do a regular Psylocke, like a single release, because I don't really need the Thanos, but I do like the look of him. It's not my specific look, because I do like because I do enjoy the Marvel Legends, the regular like deluxe Thanos. I think he's very nice. I have like the one I've needed in my collection. I think he's very classic, and I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm okay for now, so we'll kind of see. Hopefully they just do a regular Psylocke release. Oh, and also, of course, with Hasbro, they did, have their their Marvel Legends, their live stream showing off new figures, like the whole, the Secret Wars wave. That was a lot of fun to see. For sure. I'm leaning more towards that Daredevil. That Daredevil at first kind of had me questioning. I was like, I'm not too familiar with that look. It's because that new Daredevil is based off of the original the Secret Wars toy based on, I think, the actual design of it. And it's like, it looks pretty good, so I might be picking that up. It might be like V1. Uh, uh, yeah, uh, the new updated Daredevil that I finally get, because I don't have any of the other ones. So I think, okay, third time's the charm, because they had the 3-pack one that came with the white, the white costume, Elektra, and then the Bullseye, and then had the VHS Spider-Man animated 2-pack. Daredevil with the cell shading and had Hydro Man. I kind of wish I got that 2-pack because I like that all water Hydro Man. I kind of vibe with that, but I get it. That Daredevil in there, and people are like, bro, it's packed in with a Hydro Man. And I'm like, that's packed in with a Hydro Man. I just don't have money to get it at that time. And now I do, and now I can't find it. Or, it's or it's outrageously overpriced. Because that's the world that we live in, where everything's overpriced and everyone is struggling just to enjoy life, I guess. I don't want to get too much into everything. This is not what this platform is for, but I'm going to do what I want to do. Fuck guys. Okay. We're making that clear. Fuck guys. Fuck Donald Trump. But in any case, they keep my head spinning. I gotta be on watch of all those motherfuckers. But in any case, ain't gonna stop me from messing with toys, chatting with y'all here on the live stream, doing our thing, having fun. Oh yeah, I'm going off of tangents. But with the with the Marvel Legends stream, I like the Daredevil that they showed off. Magic is very intriguing. It's like I'm not too familiar with her look. I'm kind of more used to that more classic look with the crown and everything going on there. Who else was in that Secret Wars? That Spider-Man with the symbiote thing. Like, that's cool. That's something, but I'm like, maybe I'll kind of see. I have plenty of Spider-Mans, so I'm like, yeah, that's a cool like transition thing. It's like if you want to have them, on display or do like a picture of, the symbiote doing the thing where it's traveling up to him, or or where he's like fighting against it or something like that. So it's a cool figure. It looks cool. Just gotta see, gotta see how the vibes. And then they had Absorbing Man. He was all right. He looks good. It looks like a nice upgrade. It looks very classic, but it's just the fact that it doesn't come with anything that really shows off his power. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's very tempting, but I'm like, I'm not gonna pre-order that. I'm just gonna wait until that's in stores, until I can get it in my hands, and just see from there. Because I don't even have my old Absorbing Man on display. The Build-A-Figure. And I think that one was pretty good for the time. It's not perfect, but it's cool. It's great. It's pretty neat. And then who else is in that wave? So we had Daredevil, Spider-Man, Magic, Absorber Man, and then there was, I think, 2 more. Well, there was 2 more. Oh yeah, and then that the classic Falcon. He looks great. I'll definitely have to pick him up because been kind of waiting to get a classic Falcon. I do have a more modern version on my thing. I think it actually is the I think it's the retro card. I think it's just the Avengers, like the white retro cards that they do. It's based off of like other toys. And so that one's pretty good. I do like the look of him. I think it is kind of still more modernish. So doing that full-on classic Venom, with the the Red Wing, is really cool. That's very nice. So probably gotta pick them up at some point. I mean, I think it's due. What else? Who's the last one in there? So it's Falcon, Daredevil, Spider-Man with the symbiote thing, and then Magic. Who's number 6? It is. I'm trying to go through my brain. Who's the last one? Because it's gonna bother me if I don't know it. Trying to look through, try to see what's clicking in my brain. Who is it? Who's number 6? Who is in that wave? Okay, I gotta go over. So Daredevil. Okay, I can see the image in my head. Falcon. Magic. Spider-Man with the symbiote. Who am I missing? Now I'm missing 2. Now my brain's not working. It's gonna kill me not knowing this. Who did I just say? Who's number 5? I forgot who number 5 was. I have no idea who's number 6. Ooh, it's killing me, y'all. It's killing me. Oh, Absorbing Man. Duh. But then number 6, who's the 6th man? Or woman? I can't remember who they were doing. Because, of course, they had Titania, and they had the full symbiote Spider-Man, and then the Captain America that they did, who looks great on the Avengers shelf, and it'll be interesting to see that. Who was the 6th one? Here, I'm going to go check real quick. I shall be back. Because it's going to bother me, so see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I checked it. So our 6th person was Constrictor, another villain. Yeah, which is actually very nice. We haven't gotten a Constrictor, I think, ever since Hasbro brought back the line, like way back in the day. So that's really cool. It looks great. I love the updated colors. I think it's super colorful. I think it's the one that you need. Of course, it does has some reuse. It's like especially especially with his little arm things that come out, because that's from Omega Red. But it works. It's a different colorway. I think it looks pretty cool. It's like it's supposed to be like metal, but it has like an energy thing going on there, and I just like it. I think it looks cool. So definitely those. So for sure's are Daredevil, Falcon, probably Constrictor. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not really like fully like invested in that character. I don't really know too much about him, but I do enjoy my. Excuse me. But I do enjoy my classic kind of like comic villains. Just very of that time, but still cool. Still works in the modern times, and it looks awesome. But yeah, so Daredevil, Falcon, probably Constrictor, and then it's probably Absorbing Man, and then maybe Magic. That Spider-Man is like dead last, in my opinion. Magic, I'm not really too familiar with that costume. I know a lot of people have nostalgia for that, but it's just not my specific look. But she looks great, though. Like, she looks like a great figure anyway, so I'm like, probably anyways. And then Absorbing Man, I mean, he's a great looking figure. I think he looks awesome, but it's just the fact he doesn't come with any other accessories that kind of like show off his power. He has like the 2 different head sculpts, which are, I guess, like 2 different styles. And then he has swappable hands, and then has the ball and chain effect that he has, and is on, I think, a newer body, or maybe even kind of an updated thing of what they're doing. But it looks great. It looks cool. I'm just like, it's just the guy. Even though on the little, like the shield thing, where they have like the lens, where they have the image that changes. They do show his power, and he's like a stone guy. So it's like, it would have been cool to maybe like include an alternate arm with that figure, maybe an alternate head. Yeah, that also did that, so you can kind of transition. It's like I know like the whole neck and body wouldn't match, but I don't think that would matter that much to too many people. I mean, it didn't bother. yeah. I don't think it really bothered that many people. Uh, uh, yeah, when they did that with the Build a Figure, and it just looked good. So yeah, we had all the potential, but you know, they do what they gotta do, or they do just whatever they want to do, anyways. And they'll probably do another release down the line where he comes with extra stuff, but he's probably gonna be slightly different. So it'll be like, all right, well now we gotta get this one just to get the effects for that classic one. But then we have this other version that probably no one really cared about. But in any case, cool figures. Gotta get that Daredevil. Gotta get that Falcon. Probably getting that Constrictor. For sure. Absorber Man. If I see him, I'll probably get him. I can't help myself, probably. And then Magic. Very tempting, but we'll see. But in any case, what else for toy news? I know. Okay, and then also Hasbro have been showing off. Yeah, they did reveal their new Mandalorian and Grogu figures, so that's pretty cool for Star Wars. They look good. I'm just like, I'm good with my Mando. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, with my Din Djarin and the yeah, and Grogu on the shelf for now. I think they just look pretty good right now. I just don't need it. You know, but the figure looks cool. I think it basically is like the same one that we have now, which is a great figure, anyways. And then comes with different. Yeah, comes with a different Grogu. I guess he kind of like perches on his shoulder, so he's kind of has his arms up and his feet up. So that's pretty cool. So to have a different look for him, and it makes sense because I think he kind of does that. So it kind of, it yeah, it's nice to see that. And then comes with a bunch of different weapons, so that's pretty cool. That's like a big deluxe release. And then they also have the Black Series like whole kind of wave that goes with that. So where they have Sigourney Weaver, it's like an X-wing pilot, so that's kind of cool. She looks kind of weird, but I'm like, okay, Sigourney Weaver. And then you have, yeah, and then you have a stormtrooper, an AT-AT driver, and then an AT-ST driver. So those are cool to have different variations if you need them. I probably need a couple. We'll kind of see, but it's cool to have your variety. And it'll probably be nice, to finally get another X-Wing pilot for the shelf. We need to get like all those guys. I'm surprised they haven't done them that much. And also just need to get an update of the of the X-Wing pilot Luke, because you just do. It's just, I think it's required, especially after now. Especially having these updated, Star Wars regular Luke and Leia classic ones. So plenty of opportunity. Also, they did their vintage collection stuff too, but I'm not in it, but it's neat. But they all look good, so it's cool to see what's going on, what we're gonna be seeing, hopefully in the near future, or maybe even in some cases next year. Because there was also Mattel announced that they have the Ninja Turtles license, and they've been doing great, anyways, with Playmates doing their stuff there, so makes sense. It's like it's gonna be weird that Playmates is gonna lose the license next year, but then they also announced, with Hasbro, that they're doing TMNT X GI Joe figures. I mean, talk about another combination that I never really thought of, but it works so well. Because, turtles in army uniforms kind of works pretty well. Because they had that in the vintage, Playmates toy. So that would be pretty cool to see. But we'll get there. Because, they already have like a vehicle. You got villains, you got heroes, you got all four turtles, you got April. I don't think we have a Casey yet, but then you got Krang, you got Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder. So that's like your, like your 5 to 4, I guess. And then also a vehicle for the turtles to ride, which looks great. So I'm like, all right, You might get me again, you bastards. Doing all your frickin' turtle crossovers. I can't help myself. I love me some Ninja Turtles, especially weird ones, like how we saw last year with the Godzilla Ninja Turtle figures. I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, specifically, that Godzilla raft looks amazing. Hopefully, we'll actually get to complete the set of the 4. Yeah, it makes me wonder if they're going to be doing that probably at Toy Fair. Yeah, they're going to be like, here's your Donatello, maybe a couple more figures, and then that's like it for the line, which is going to suck. But I'm like, okay, at least give me Donatello. That's who I want. I want to see a Shredder, and probably just an April, maybe a Splinter. Be nice. Even a Casey, it could do whole other wave. If it's possible, if y'all can even do that within this year alone. So plenty of opportunity for Turtle stuff, and especially with Playmates. I think they have announced or have shown off that I think it is this year that they will be releasing they're more like the retro carded of figures, like the 1988 or 89 toys again. So I think it's, who is that? I think it's a Worm. Either the chef guy I think they have in there. Usagi Ojimbo. I know he's in there. So I got the NECA just for that. So that's gonna be a future thing. He's gonna be off the wall at some point. Oh god. So expect more of those. I hope they'll be coming out. I hope there hasn't been really too much trouble, because they haven't really been doing much. At least right now, when it comes to Turtles, I feel like that they've been kind of halting. But I don't know if that's because, Playmates is based in Hong Kong, and, Turtles are owned by Paramount. We know what's going on there. More corporation shit. But, hopefully we'll be able to get more of those vintage toys before they stop making them. Unless Mattel can basically be like, hey, is it fine if we use your shit? And they're like, if you give us money, we'll let you. We'll make them in our factories, but then you can produce them. As long as we get money. But probably not going to be doing stuff with Playmates anymore. I think that they're just done with it, so probably not. So it's going to suck, but it's also going to be cool to see what they bring into the next year, because I'm kind of excited for Mattel next year. And I don't know if Mattel is doing Turtles, I think specifically this year too. I can't remember. I guess I'll just have to see. Time will tell. Because I just saw the announcement. I didn't really read it. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. So this is going to be their new home. It's going to be with Mattel. So, yeah. Plenty going on here when it comes to toys and toys news. I didn't think there was. I can't ever remember anything whenever I get on these streams, but in any case, I think we're going to finally stop rambling. We're about 40 minutes in, nearly. So we will get to our main part of the show. We'll flip my camera over. We'll look at some pretty sick Star Wars toys. Oh, I always forget. This thing probably has to be like a whole foot over. Because this is centered, but it's always just Decker -Y9T. Welcome to the live stream. We're gonna be starting to look at our figures for the night. The Star Wars Black Series, Luke Skywalker and Princess Lea Organa from Star Wars. A New Hope. I don't really like calling it A New Hope, to be honest. I just like calling the first movie Star Wars, because that's what it was. That's what it is. But how you doing, Decker? Thanks for dropping by. Oh yeah, also before we get into these, got a plug. Yeah, just for a minute. Be sure, subscribe, leave a like, on this video / live stream. And comment what you want to see here on the channel. I support, thank you for the support, and, want to see what y'all are doing. But Just Decker says, good. Glad you're doing good. Thank you for the like, Decker. Appreciate it. But yeah, cool couple of figures that we have going on here. Have the Luke and Leia. One's from the first movie, looking pretty neat here. And nice to finally have these. Yeah, I've had these for a minute, I think. Oh yeah, and also, I do want to also shout out my local comic shop, Rocket Comics. But Rocket Comics again, because I also picked them up there. As you can see, I have a tag. $25, $26 for just this. Come on, Hasbro. I mean, yeah, there probably is like more of an independent kind of market price on them, because that's what they gotta do, because the prices are so big anyways. But cool little figures. They look cool. Definitely upgrades that have been needed for a while. And, I've had these for a minute, because they're technically last year figures. Well, they are last year figures, because they've been around for a minute. But they look great. They look really cool, and I'm just excited to get more of the original Star Wars trilogy, specifically the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope. I guess I'll just call it A New Hope, even though I just prefer saying Star Wars personally. And and then we'll have the 70th. I think it is the 70th anniversary next year. So that'll also have a release of the original movie in theaters. So already kind of getting hyped for that early in this year, in February. But it was, it just felt like time to finally get these open. It just felt like the right time. It's always based on the vibes and how much time I can get these in. Of course, every Friday, but depends on the time if I'm working or not. But in any case, cool figures. Can't wait to get Han and Chewie to go with them. Also, need to see a C-3PO. Just gotta say, where's a good C-3PO figure? We haven't really gotten one ever since they gave us the Chewbacca and C-3PO 2-pack from Amazon years ago, forever ago. And they haven't really done a classic C-3PO since. So it would be nice to see that maybe sometime this year, or probably even next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of hold out as long as they can. But the R2-D2 is very good. The new R2 is great. We need ourselves a new, Ben Kenobi for sure. Hold on. Definitely need a new Ben Kenobi at some point, but I have been tempted to get the SH Figure Arts Ben Kenobi, just because he has that cloth wired cape, and the figure just by itself looks great. The only thing I would change would probably be getting a custom head sculpt, because I feel like SH Figure Arts doesn't really do the most perfect job of doing a likeness, even compared to Hasbro, in my opinion. In my opinion, I feel like Hasbro actually does pretty good with their likenesses, and it's just a specific style that they do. But hopefully we'll get maybe a bit more of the New Hope characters and more stuff going on there. I mean, because who do we have? Well, we're going to see in a minute. Because I basically brought out a bit of the Star Wars collection to do, our comparisons at the end. But finally, get into these figures. I'll stop rambling every 10 seconds, it feels like. But okay. Yeah, I think I know which way I want to go. It's like first we're gonna do Luke, and then we're gonna do Leia. I guess they are numbered. So she is actually number 8. He's number 9. So should we do? What do y'all think? Sound off in the chat for y'all who are here. Who do you think we should do? Should we do Luke or Leia? Luke is number 9 and Leia is number 8. But I kind of prefer doing Leia. Leia. 89. 8, then 9, you're saying? So we'll do Leia and then we'll do Luke because Leia's kind of the best looking one, to be frank, in my humble opinion. I think you're saying 8 till 9. That's what I'm going to take from that. Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, then we will move Luke to the back. Move Leia to the forefront. You know what? Luke can come to the side. Actually, Luke will just be back here behind Leia. Not to distract too much. Let me make sure my camera is straight on. But there we go. And there she is in all her plastic glory. Because, of course, here you just have the full kind of black box going on there with the Star Wars The Black Series logo at the top. Nothing there. On the side of the front here have the Princess Lea Organa text there. She is number 8 of the Star Wars A New Hope I guess specific group, or I guess wave or collection of these Star Wars Black Series figures, but they have that kind of like that very deep kind of bright orange, and then line goes around to the side, have the Star Wars The Black Series logo. Nothing else much there except for a bit of the window. Other side have a nice artwork of Leia from A New Hope in this look, even with the hood up. She, yeah, and she looks pretty great. It's like, of course, the likeness is done very well, and even has a little bit of your hallway, kind of like your background there, as we saw in the movie. So very cool. Have the name Princess Leia Organa on the back. Have that Star Wars The Black Series logo. Have the Princess Leia Organa name there, and then a little bio and multiple languages there. So it is the daughter of Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker, sister of Luke Skywalker, and with a soft spot for scoundrels. Leia ranked among the galaxy's great heroes. Very basic, to be honest, but there it is in all its other languages besides English. And then have the same artwork of Leia on the back there. Your number 8, Star Wars A New Hope in that orange. Attention, warning, Hasbro, Disney at the bottom got the price tag. 8525. Thank you, Eddie from Rocket Comics. Shout out Rocket Comics. The barcode and everything there. So yeah. Oh yeah. I did actually kind of want to mention one kind of thing that I do feel weird about. I feel like this bio is like I get it is supposed to be, I guess, kind of generic, but I kind of wish that they would do a more movie specific bio for, their characters, instead of being like, well, Princess Leia Organa is daughter of Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker, but she's an Organa, so it's kind of like, well, what happens there? Why not just be like, well, yeah, she was raised by the Organas and like joined the rebellion and did all this thing, because that would have been nice. And then she kind of basically just saves herself in the film. Let's be honest. She is only able to get out because, because Luke and Han were there, and that was their mission. Well, specifically Obi-Wan's mission, but Luke was kind of forced into it, and then Han was paid, but was like the Empire What do you mean, bro? Okay, that is a lot of money. I guess I'll do that. And then he was like, oh, a princess? Why do we gotta save a princess, bro? This is so lame. But she ain't bad looking. As they always do. But Leia looks pretty good, so we'll just go ahead, get her finally open, get a figure. Sorry for the reflection. I got the ring light here, so it's a little finicky. But I think we'll be able to make that work. Here is, of course, our tool, the trusty X-Acto blade here. As we do with each of our figures. Lay them down, and we'll just cut here at the bottom with the one tape piece there. See enough. Move the knife. Kind of get in there if we can. Better. Do they tape the side? No. It's just a bit difficult to open. Okay. There we go. A little tab. Okay. It basically takes out the insert, but the figure. There's our empty box to be thrown to the floor. Put Leia to the side now, but there's our typical Hasbro paper to be thrown into the abyss. Have our, actually, the little backdrop that we saw on the side of, on the side of the packaging, and then doing that fade just to the all orange of the insert. So not a bad stylized choice, but honestly, I wouldn't really keep this. I'll probably just throw this away. This ain't really that impressive, at least for my standards of the art. In any case, here is a Leia, all her plastic glory in her entombment. Let's start everything out. We'll just go by it, because this is a pretty straightforward stream, to be honest. There's our typical kind of stormtrooper gun there. I forget what the model is, but very nice sculpt. Very basic. Has the scope on the top, has the magazine on the side, has the little thing there. The gun, very simple. Has that little silver hit. That's pretty cool to see. Pretty nice. And that's the one, that Leia takes, I think, from Luke or Han while they're wearing the Stormtrooper. So it is a Stormtrooper specific gun. But then there's her gun. Small piece. All in just cast in this dark gray. I kind of wish that they would have painted the kind of front of it, but I forget if that's more accurate or not. If it's all black like this, kind of like a shiny black, or if it's has some more hints of paint to it. I guess I'll kind of look it up, but it looks very good and it's a very nice sculpt. Looks very good, so pretty cool. Then she comes also with this extra hood piece that is meant to fit, around the neck of Leia, and then can easily sit on there without making it kind of too weird and awkward of a fit, so it looks more natural. So pretty cool. Finally, we'll get Leia out of there. Another thing of trash to throw away. But here's our Princess Lea Organa. I do gotta say, on camera, it's on camera, it doesn't look the greatest from from what you guys can see, but from what I can see in person, it looks pretty good. I think it kind of like on camera, it does look a bit fuzzy, but when you get a bit further out, I think it does probably work a bit more. It might be more awkward because they do have the kind of like the paint kind of going over on each side, so you can kind of see the seams. But in any case, I think this is still a very nice sculpt. Looks very good. I think it looks exactly like Carrie Fisher, in my opinion. Has the full white costume there with the baggy sleeves, and then the baggy kind of fabric there going over the belt, which has very nice detail, very accurate with that. And then, of course, has the actual kind of full skirt piece there, and then underneath do have just all white legs, and then have some actual boots. There's a nice detail, but then they are reusing the old body mold legs there, so they do have those kind of ugly pins. I kind of wish that they would rather not do that either, and they go pinless with Hasbro. But usually, like they're usually like single digits, but these aren't bad at all. And this kind of gives her more range, I guess, but pretty cool. And then on the back here, you do have the little sculpted piece that's connected to the collar that has the hood down. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's pretty good. And then the articulation is very basic. It does have a wall at the top of the head that goes up about this far, even with the neck. With a ball there at the bottom. Can look up about that far, look down that far, do a bit of tilt, do a full rotation, kind of all the way around, all around, all around. And then at the shoulder, we have a hinge. Goes, doesn't really make exactly 90, but not awful. Does have a butterfly joint. I think it's a butterfly joint. It feels like a butterfly joint. It is kind of, well, there we go. So there's back. It kind of has like a click to it. And then forward. Not a whole lot of range. But it's a nice little thing to add there to get more articulation in there if you can. And then here's your double jointed elbow. Nearly 90, not too bad. You have your swivel there at the joint too, and then with the hands, she does have a grip left hand that has a in and out hinge, and of course rotates, and then has a right trigger finger. A right trigger finger hand. There, that does go up and down. And then rotate, so pretty good. And then at the torso here, have, I think, from what it feels like, I think it's a ball that goes into another ball that's in the body. So it can go back about that much. Go forward only about that much, not really a whole lot. Can go side to side, so you can see more of the belt that actually does go all the way around, so that's pretty good. And then full hula hoop action, just full on 360 rotation as well, so very, very cool. And then of course, with the legs, it's like you do have a split on either side of the actual skirt, so you can go up about that far, pretty good. Go back pretty well. Like, that's pretty great. You don't get that much range on a back kick that much anymore. Out and You know, that don't look great with the exposed pins there. I kind of wish that was really pinless, but you know, it will work. And you know, mostly she'll be on the thing like this, just standing. So she's not really going to be doing that much going on. You have your upper thigh cut just to show off. Have your double jointed elbow. We'll try to do it inside of the skirt as well as we can. Can go up about like that far, but outside you can get like all the way. So I don't know if I can kind of like tuck that in, but if I go all the way, yeah, that's about like that far. That's not bad with that skirt at all. You can get a ton of things going on there, so that's pretty good. And then no boot swivel, but you do have a foot articulation, so hinges forward that far, hinges back that far, has some fuzz in there. What the hey? All right. All right. That's very weird. It does have has little fibers on it. Actually, it's on my finger. Get off of my thing. Get off of the figure. Okay. Okay. So we'll do that again. So our foot kicks forward about that far. Our foot kicks back about that far. And then, of course, there's a forward-facing pin for a rocker, because that's what Hasbro loves doing. So I guess we can see what is a... Okay, let's get her to, like just basically, like, get down. Like, she's, like... Oh, okay, like how she does in the beginning of the film. Gets on her knee. You know what they should have included? They should have included the little, like the Death Star plans. That would have been nice to have there, because then, you know, you can have that thing in that seam of R2, and we haven't really gotten a Death Star plan. Little piece, I think. Who is it? Jyn Erso's father, the guy who made it. I think he has them. I think that makes sense, but let's get her, because there she is. Of course, like the skirt doesn't really work that much, but I guess you maybe kind of try to cheat it. Maybe. Even if you do her fully on her knees with the skirt back, but I think you're going to get a fight with it anyways. We do, yeah, but I do want to try 9 out of 10. Honestly, it's pretty good articulation, all things considered, but okay, so first I'll get her with her regular pistol here. Ooh, just to have that look. Trying to get her finger into the trigger. Kind of doesn't want to do it, but there she is. Oh. A little bit on the low side, excuse me.
That's pretty good. Pretty decent with the gun, not too shabby. Have her with it up like she always does mostly, or right there or something, so. Or does she kind of hold it more? Where she's like, yeah, I got a gun. I know I'm freaking badass. You can't mess with me. I'm Princess freaking Leia. But that's kind of more, I feel like that is more of the big gun. The regular kind of Stormtrooper Empire gun that they use. Hold on. Try to get this gun in her hand. Hold on, bruh. It's kind of difficult to get the hand fully on there with the trigger finger. Man, I am struggling to get this gun in this hand. Excuse me. Sorry, apologies for it not being too entertaining. Because I do want her to hold this freaking gun. It's like, bruh. Just let me do the thing. Because I can get it in most of the hand, it's just in the trigger finger. Oh, I might just have to just put it in there and be like, all right, that's it. But like, it just bothers me so much that I can't get that. I know I can probably try it, but I do kind of prefer if she was able to actually go there, but I don't think she really can. Or if we do try to see if we can have her double hand it. She did hold it with two hands in the film. I don't think she'd be able to. I think it'd be probably pretty simple. Because she was still kind of, a bit of a fighter during that movie. She wasn't really that passive at all. She was a very important part and very, rebellious, if you would say. Hey, Gabe, how's it going, bro? Been a bit. Welcome to the live stream. Long time no see, for sure, bro. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the like. We're looking at some Star Wars, bro. You get any good figures? I know you've been, I know you've still been like on that high up. craze, and I'm kind of up on it too, to be honest. I have been doing some stuff. I haven't gotten anything, but but seeing like stuff like the GMK and the Godzilla 2000 figure, I'm like, bro, I'm like, y'all are killing me. Okay, Gabe said he started getting Bandai and Super 7. That's pretty sick, bro. I'm gonna try to take off. Okay, just took off her head, not too bad, just on the ball there. But Gabe says I have a lot of Bandai. I mean, there's so much Bandai. I mean, if you're more, only have like 3 Super 7 figures. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty good amount. I only got like, well, I do got 3 myself of the Super 7. Because I, personally, it's like I have the Godzilla -1 Super 7. Because I think it just looks the best of all the ones that they've done so far. There's the hood piece. The down one for Leia. And there is actually a little, there is like a little plug there to go on the back of the neck. And then we have the hole there. That works for that. But Gabe says, I just recently got the giant condor and some Godsey burst. Awesome. Yeah, that giant condor one actually looks pretty good. That movie monster series version, but there's Leia there. Because, I don't think there's going to be really that many other Condor figures, so it's kind of cool that they're doing that stuff. And I do have, a bit of, like, the movie monster series. A lot of, like, some of the older ones. Not really a bunch of, like, the new ones. I do have a few of like, actually, of course, like 2 of like the Playmates ones, like the Rodan and the what is he? Because their classic Rodan is very good, like their Showa. What's the other one? Oh, that's the the Gorosaurus. He's pretty good. Nice sculpt there. So I hope the SH Monster Arts makes a Gatling Gigan. A Gatling Gigan. Is that what the Godsey burst thing? Yeah, because when was the Gatling gun? I remember he had like the chainsaw hands. How did you guys meet? Jess Decker. Just Decker. Oh, okay. Gabe says yes. It's a part of Godsey burst. Okay. I think we talked about that last time. I feel like I remember seeing that at some point. It sounds familiar in some case. But there she is with the hood. This camera's all screwed up, but looks actually pretty good. It looks natural. I do feel like it has to like sit more on kind of like more on the head, more forward would be nice if it covered more of the hair. But but this still works pretty well. It looks very natural to how it is. And it's in toy form, so it's going to be different, but we're probably not going to get that. Go and forget about me. How did you guys meet? Just Decker. I'm not going to forget about. I mean, this stuff's live. Like, this is going to be, live to watch later on. After this live stream is over. So this is on the internet forever. Ugh. But how do we meet? Like me and Gabe? I mean, Gabe just showed up on one of my streams one day. Probably more specifically when I did a Godzilla stream. Because it makes sense. Because we know. Bro was one of my Godzilla guys. Because gotta stay true to the roots. I gotta get a Godzilla figure soon. I really want to get the Haya GMK. After seeing all the photos and all the reviews, I'm just like, gimme. I should have pre-ordered that, but you know what? I'll get it at some point, and I will be happy then. And hopefully sooner than later. It's definitely gonna be like this year. This year, I gotta get that figure because it came out. Like it literally like just came out like end of the year, start of this year technically. You should get a Hayashimo. It's really good. Okay. Yeah, I've been kind of like like if I'll be honest, it's like my priority isn't really kind of MonsterVerse right now. But Shimo's pretty good. I just don't need something like super expensive right now though. I'm like 70, 80. I'm pretty good right now. I'm sitting at that. I forget how much Shimo is, but I know that she's big. And I know that she's good because I've seen the reviews. But it's like, yeah, it's like I gotta start more of the MonsterVerse stuff because I got the Haya, the Godzilla, versus Kong Godzilla figure, and that one is just like the one I've needed for a while. And then the Haya female Muto is really cool. I might get her with her other pistol since it actually fits. And then what is it? Oh, dust. What is it? Of the Haya, what other Hayas do I have? Is that it? I feel like I got one more. That might be it. But yeah, but MonsterVerse wise, don't really have a lot. Get a Godzilla 2000 for what I heard. It's actually pretty good from Haya. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely plan. I'll definitely plan to get that at some point soon because that is a cool figure. Because it looks great. I think it just looks more accurate. I think it just has like all the right feels when it comes to that Godzilla in a toy form. It just looks amazing. I totally agree. I have to totally get that. I might just get him and GMK. I might just be like, all right, here it is. We're doing these. I'd probably do them one by one still. I would definitely give them their own reviews, but they kind of, closer to a certain time. Or maybe one of the Mechagodzillas. The Mechagodzillas would be really cool. I kind of wish that they would do a Showa. I feel like we've been needing a Showa, but it's kind of what all these toy companies like doing is during the Heisei and then like the 2000s era. But it would be nice, to have those Showa era monsters in fully articulated action figure form, because that's just my kind of dream of to having. I want everything movable. I want me a Rodan. I want my Chorosaurus. I want King Caesar. I want a Jet Jaguar. Well, SH Martial Arts did do a Jet Jaguar, but I haven't gotten that yet, too. That would actually be pretty good because that's more a unique thing. I don't know if Haya does a Jet Jaguar, if that would be good. Gabe says Haya should make a Gojira 1954. I would not be surprised if they would do that at some point. Because the NECA one, like the original, like the NECA one that I have, that's pretty good. The SH Monster Arts, it's just not it. Personally, he feels like very small and very kind of like looks a little dumpy, but all right. Just Decker. King Kong. Oh, okay, yeah, King Kong would be good. They have done a few King Kongs. I mean, they have like the Godzilla versus Kong, of course, and then also the new Empire one as well. I think they also announced like another one, and I think that's the one I'm gonna get because they've done like so many. They did even
even a Skull Island one at some point, but that was like at the very start of their time. So it's kind of old now. It's kind of out of date, but I think they're probably going to do an update of that at some point.
Playmates made a Monsterverse Rodan. Oh yeah, they did. And a Skilla. Yeah, I remember seeing Skilla or Skyla, whatever her name was. And she was pretty cool, but can this thing, what's going on with this camera tonight? It is like staying super dark. I guess it's the fact that this is like all white, so it's kind of taking all the contrast with it. But Gabe says it just got leaked that they were making a Space Godzilla for the new Godzilla, and it's legit. Okay. I'm not surprised. I've been hearing the rumblings about, the MonsterVerse. My other Godzilla guys and I have been like chatting about that because he isn't excited about probably like about it. So he's so he's actually said that he's planning on not seeing it. Right now, I'm still planning to see it, but I get the whole thing, about Godzilla not being in the forefront of of these movies, because apparently he's only had like 20 minutes of like screen time compared to Kong. They basically just make Kong like the main character, and that makes sense. It's like it's just always that kind of dynamic, because Godzilla is more just kind of like your force of nature who just comes in, does epic fights, and will just be there. Godzilla will be the main one in the new movie. I hope so. Or, even I would even say, just a straight up solo Godzilla film. I've been seeing that going around a lot too. And that would be nice. Because Kong can do something else. It's confirmed. But is he like the only one? Because, it's Godzilla X Kong. But will he really be involved? Because there's also, been ramblings. I don't know how true this is, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like that Kong is supposed to be wearing like a new kind of armor, like a fully armored up, and it's like, okay, we're doing that. I get it, but I'm like, that's it. Kong's just like, okay, okay, more armor. I got the arm now, and I got the axe, so now I get the armor, and we go to space, and I help defeat things. Big Gabe says, I don't think they will make one without Kong because that is what makes them more money. I won't be surprised. I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't know how much longevity the Godzilla X Kong brand has. I think you just have to, at some point, separate them again instead of like being like, okay, back and forth, back and forth. Because it's been, this is like your third film. And it's like, okay. It's like we're going straight up to Space Godzilla. I feel like we could do like something more. Like I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it would be neat to see both a Kong and a Godzilla solo film. I think that they can carry their names. I don't know about Kong though. I think that they're just not confident about Kong. And so that's the thing. It's like because Godzilla is your first title character. He is the first word that you see is Godzilla, and it's the whole thing instead of Kong, because they don't put King Kong, they just put Kong, because they just have to modernize it and simplify it. I think they should make it where Kong dies and Godzilla gets revenge, and then they make Godzilla Destroy All Monsters as a sequel. So Godzilla is getting revenge. That would be interesting. A Destroy All Monsters. I guess how would you get King Ghidorah back? Unless you're like, oh, this is like
I don't know, Kaiser Ghidorah or whatever. And Godzilla Revenge, like a murder spree. I mean, that would be cool. Maybe like just Godzilla like destroys the Earth. He's just so like devastated by the lost. You know, it's like. But would he care? I think kind of more about Mothra though. Like if Mothra died again, and there's just no way for her to come back. Yeah, I think that Godzilla would be more pissed about that. Kong, I don't know if he really cares that much. Usually he doesn't. It's usually on site whenever he sees Kong. So he's like, bro, it's on site. I don't care, good or bad. It's on site, bro. I hate you, Kong. I have respect for you, but I still hate you. I think they should, but yeah, but Kong dying, I don't know. I don't know how confident they feel about that. I mean, bro has aged kind of poorly. Let's be honest. He's been going through the ringer, and he's old now. He's got like the full like the gray hair and the beard. So he is literally like at like nearly grandpa status. And that's probably why he needs, the mech. Mecha Ghidorah? A Mecha Ghidorah would be nice. A destroy all monsters like Mecha Ghidorah. That'd be pretty neat. Where they bring him back. He's a mecha. He's like bigger and badder. More powerful. And they have to like do that. But then, you're going from like, from that, but before you had Space Godzilla. Because, it's cool with Mecha Ghidorah. Maybe you do that here then. You do Destroy All Monsters. And then you do, Supernova. And it was Space Godzilla and, like, go into space. And, like, shit go down. I don't know. Yes, but Kong is, like, his best buddy, frenemies. I don't know. I'd have to see the movies again. Because, I kind of just, like, remember at the end of Godzilla X Kong, where clearly, Godzilla won on their one-on-one fight, but then, they destroyed the Mecha Godzilla, and that kind of, like, Godzilla was like, okay. He's like, all right, we're kind of, like, but I respect you, but it's like, you gotta know, I'm the alpha, bro. I'm the king. I'll beat you fair and square. You nearly died. Like, you were basically dead. And then Gabe says, they should make a movie about the Great Titan War, bro. The Great Titan War? Is that like the ancient times kind of shit that they've been talking about in those movies? And have been like in the comics, I believe, too? Because that would be neat. Yes. Alright. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like Dagon? Is he in that? Or heck, make it a show. Well, they have doing, they have been doing, that monster show, and that, of course, is gonna have, Godzilla and Kong in there, and then other ones. So I gotta get on that. But a Great Time War would be cool, or a comic series. I think that they have done like a little bit of that, haven't they? Because there was like a Muto Prime thing, and that was like before the 2014, so that's like something. Can't remember. I don't know. I just want a Great Titan War thing. I mean, it would be cool. It would be really neat. And these are all great ideas, but a studio is gonna studio, and all those executives will decide whatever they want to do, especially because they're like, okay, well, we only want you to do this. You need to be very limited and kind of, go with the formula. All right.
Because we want to make money. We don't want to put that much effort in. Make us money. Put nostalgia everywhere. Because the world is pretty awful. But there's our Leia. Looking pretty cool. Super cool. For the fans. The fandom is the money. I think the money is the money. Fandom is just, in their eyes, in the billionaire eyes, in the millionaires and billionaires. We're just a number. But that don't mean I'm not gonna buy that cool shit though. Like this Leia. This Lea Organa is amazing. Looks great. Moves great. Just really, really cool. So yeah. Nice. Then we're gonna get up to Luke. Finally, I can't believe it's an hour and a half. The Phantom is the money. Buffer. Am I buffering? Can this thing buffer? Alright, Gabe. Don't be spamming that too much. Oh. Leia back here. Gabe, what you doing, bruh? My favorite YouTube emoji. Okay. Alrighty. There's our Luke Skywalker. Why does the line look so... Bruh. Alright. There's our Luke. All his plastic glory has the same kind of details with the box. Black Series, Star Wars. Have the figure. Luke Skywalker, the name. Number 9, the New Hope. Darkness there, orange, Star Wars Black Series. Gabe says, have you seen Stranger Things? I have not. I haven't seen a single episode, to be honest. I've been, watching, little, reviews of it, or, podcasts, and they talk about it. Because, they're talking about nerd stuff, and it's like, okay. I guess we'll be looking at that. Looks alright, but then there's whole art with Luke there, looking actually pretty good. The binoculars there, and then Tatooine with the double suns, with the moisture farm in the back. Pretty nice there. The orange fade to Luke Skywalker. I've started, and I'm not on season 5. Oh, okay. Or you're now on season 5? And that's the last season, right? Like the 5th season? You're on season 5. Okay. Cool. I get that now. Barcode. Price there. On the back. Same art. I am on season 5. Okay. But haven't seen it yet. I do plan on seeing it. Probably at some point. It's just not interesting in me right now. It's good. You should watch it. I've heard it's pretty good. It's just I don't know. It's just another thing I gotta get into. I'm just okay, do magic stuff. It probably looks cool. I'm just I just don't have the desire for that kind of thing right now, or for a while. I mean, it sounds very neat. I'll check it out at some point, but season 1 and 4 are good. Okay. They are the best seasons. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, if season 1 probably, holds up pretty well, because it was huge. It was an instant hit. It was the biggest thing, talked about at the time, pop culture-wise. So it's okay, this is the thing. This is the thing right now.
So it made sense. But on the back, Star Wars Black Series, Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was a Tatooine farm boy who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the greatest Jedi the galaxy has ever known. That in multiple languages there. Pretty good. Have the same art of Luke with the moisture farm. You can barely see up there, but there he is. Orange line there, coloring 09 Star Wars A New Hope. Attention. Warning. Small parts. Disney. Hasbro. Gabe says season 2 and 3 are good, but not like season 1 and 4. I don't know about season 5 because I have not started season 5 yet. Okay. I've heard like mixed things about it based on reviews. But, but it's your own interpretation and how it goes. Oh. Alright, but there's a Luke. So we will get him open here. Watch my finger. Okay. Be mindful, y'all. Gabe says the finale for season 4 is like one of the best episodes of Stranger Things. Okay. Well, that's good that they have a good finale. At least for that season. That they actually, I guess, know what they're doing. In some cases. I really can't judge. Like, honestly, I've never seen the show. But there's our Hasbro paper. Get off my table. Waste. Why do they even make you? You got warnings. What's the legal? No one else really does it. I don't think they do. It's just there, bro. Gabe says, I loved when Eddie played Master of Puppets in the Upside Down. Oh, yeah, because that was like, the rock and roll dude. That's really cool. But there's Tatooine, the moisture farm. Fade to orange. Not too bad. It's cool to have the moisture farm in a little art thing, but I don't know if I want to keep it. I might just keep it. I might keep all of them. I don't know. Probably not. Probably just Luke's. Because it's the moisture farm, bro. But there's Luke. All his plastic glory. Here in the box. So we'll first get out binoculars. Or like our scopes. There it is. The 2 lenses at the front. Very squared up. All these metal pieces and designs there. Even has a little hole port there. Just Decker says, what about Eddie? Sorry, I was gone. Eddie, if you know Stranger Things, Decker, is from he is from Stranger Things. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once, but look pretty good. But yeah. But he plays the guitar in a world called the Upside Down, where the Demogorgons live in. I assume Vecna is the dude. He's the main bad guy now. Instead of like what? It was like a shadowy dude or something? Or it's just like, it's the Demogorgon. I can't remember, but Gabe says season 1 is the best season for sure. 4 is close, but not as good. Okay. I'll definitely check it out at some point. Kind of getting through my own shows as well. And then just always have a huge watch list. I'm like, all right, movie. All right, another movie. I like my little movies personally. The Demobats, the
Demogorgon, the Demodogs, Vecna, and the Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer? What the heck? Alright. Cool. But here is Luke's lightsaber, which is, of course, the same as his father's, Anakin Skywalker. Has the button on the front, has the little 2 pieces on the back with the red little button or just dot there. The back have that gold kind of trigger there. The padding, the hilt with the loop at the end, and then, of course, have his blade, kind of like a darker blue. Very interesting, and then just that blade is, I think, removable. Yes, just have to be careful. That is a huge rod there. Are from the Upside Down. The Mind Flayer is the smoke thing. Also, the lore is crazy. I'm not surprised. Yeah, that they have crazy lore. It like from like is like from like the little parts that I've seen, it looks like a crazy weird lore kind of show there. It looks so fun. And just in some ways. Okay. The Mind Flyer, the smoke thing. The smoke thing is just like the thing I'm like, ugh. What is that doing there? Also, they are doing a collab with Godzilla and are gonna make a comic series. You know what? I'm not too surprised by that. But honestly, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, all right, cool, Godzilla. And the Stranger Thing kids. Yeah. They're just kids. I don't know. It sounds neat. But I'm like, I don't need like 11 like in like a Godzilla costume as a toy or whatever. I don't know, but that's just me. There's our plastic. I love both, and will be cool to see them collab. Glad to hear that works for you, Gabe. Meanwhile, we are gonna wonder about this Luke Skywalker. Here, let's come in a little closer. Look at this guy looking at my camera. Because there he is. Honestly, it's not that bad. Gabe says I can just imagine Godzilla fighting the Mind Flayer. Oh my god. Excuse me. The Mind Flayer, and maybe a giant mutant Demogorgon. I mean, fighting a giant Demogorgon does sound pretty cool. Excuse me. I apologize. Yeah, that was a big flashbang. Just all that white. White there, white here, white there, white there. Kind of a bluish there. Yellows and blues there, so it's screwing it with it. And I got warm lights and kind of bluish lights going on here. Nothing's that consistent tonight, but they look alright. Look pretty good. I mean, even if... Here, I'm gonna... How does that look? I feel like that's kind of just better, just the basic. So that's alright. But I gotta say, though, head sculpt, it's not too bad. I just, I don't know. I think that the likeness is kind of there. I think it's just kind of, it just gets kind of lost. In real life, it looks all right. I just don't
Also with the hair, I think it just needs to be more broken up. I think his hair is a lot more flowier, a lot more kind of like stylized. Because on the back, it actually looks pretty good. I can see that that's Mark Hamill's, yeah, the back of his head as Luke. But the front just don't look that perfect. I gotta try something. Yeah, with this little hair mod at some point. But the printing looks good. I think the actual face is pretty decent. I think it's just kind of yeah, it's just a very specific look. I think that's very hard to do specifically for Mark Hamill. So, but, but he's got his neck and kind of chest piece to show, hey, this is the design. This is the guy. There's his body, and then has the full clothing there, the kind of robes going on there with the belt with the loop at the front, little pouch, and then canister, or I think that's like his communicator. So that's kind of cool. I wish that was removable. That yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, but Gabe says I'll be right back. All right. See you soon. Have your two pouches there. Have your big pouch right there. Very nice. Have the lower kind of the upper kind of robes there going under the belt, and then having the baggy pants, and then boots with these kind of a leather like designs with these little kind of like these full laps or kind of the edges that go all the way down. So pretty good there. And then has a little bit of paint wash there, kind of give it like a dirty kind of sandy look there. And then even with the actual paint, it does feel like that this is a little bit like coarser and rougher. Yeah, with the actual texture and detailings on the actual costume there. So it actually feels pretty good. There's so much white going on. So yeah, but then with the articulation, we'll just get right into it. The head and the neck go up about that far, go down about that far, tilt side to side, full rotation at the top of the head. Might be able to do some rotation at the neck, but just a bit. At the shoulder, go up about that far. To have a butterfly joint, so you can go back that far, go forward fully about that far. That is actually insane. He can nearly get to crossing his arms. That's very nice. Have your single jointed elbow. Gets past, or even gets to 90 there, or even past it. Have your swivel there. Have your up and down hinge holding hand, and then your up and down trigger finger holding hand. So up, down, rotation, then side to side, or no, another up and down rotation, because that's for the lightsaber, and this is for, I assume, his binoculars. So then at the torso, kind of just have a ball there, so you can crunch forward about that far, crunch back about that far, side to side, go forward that far, go back that far, go out about that far. Then they do have a a single um a single hinge knee or a single jointed. I forget what my word is. Yeah, my single jointed knee here. And then does have a rotation there, like a swivel there. I think it. I keep getting all mixed up with the thing going on here. Okay. Is this right? I don't know if this feels right. No, that feels right. So then it's okay. The heck? And then yeah, and then you don't have the boot. Yeah, okay. So you don't have boot rotation, but it's up there at the top, and then of course the shoe kicks back about that far, kicks forward not that far, forward facing pin for that ankle rocker pivot. Very nice. Very cool. First, we'll give him his binoculars. Okay, and he does have because maybe he's supposed to. Oh no. So you can actually take off this big pouch here on the back. It has a hook on there, but then this has a hole. So I don't know if this is supposed to go onto the hook on the front. I don't think it really can. Maybe like that. Maybe that's how he has it. That's very interesting. Okay. I'm going to put this pouch on the back here. So you got them with it. That's pretty good there. And so then there he is, kind of more casually, kind of like looking into the distance and into the beyond as he does on Tatooine, thinking of maybe an adventure or a better time. Any life but this. Living in the desert, but still enjoying the desert suns. Then we're gonna get holding his binoculars. I'm gonna try to do that in his right hand. I mean, the left hand is also in there too, so it makes sense. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Getting this trigger finger hand is very hard around this massive block of an accessory. So you can get them.
Well, looking. Out of the Sand People. I'm back. Welcome back, Gabe. Here we got Luke with the with the binoculars there. So that's very cool. Kind of have displayed on there. Have that, but we will go ahead and use our lightsaber going. We will do. We'll do his left hand because that is the regular kind of grip hand, and that is pretty traditional when it comes to the lightsaber hands, I will say. But you can also still, well,
Still double-handed as well. Because Luke probably is right-handed. I think that's what he is, from what I remember. So he did. Yeah, when he did. Well, we can do that. He's like, oh.
this is like him igniting it for the first time. He's like, oh, this thing is very weird. We can also get him a bit more action, maybe.
Apologies, I'm trying to get this thing in his hand. It's like, come on, y'all. You make these figures. I'm trying to play with it. Oh. I literally just threw it. Hold on. I am struggling with this figure. It's kind of like the whole, like, the proportions, mainly with the legs, are kind of, like, throwing me off. So, like, how they break up and how they kind of articulate, I find it kind of awkward. And the fact you don't have a thigh swivel, well, you have, like, an inner thigh swivel, so that's very weird. You don't have a full-on thigh cut, like I would kind of hope. So his feet look all kind of skinny and like very like I don't know. Like he has like really small calves. Like bro is so skinny at these feet. Okay.
There's my guy. There's Luke Skywalker. Just using his lightsaber. Being the dude. Actually looks pretty good. I actually do like that a lot. That's pretty cool. Might as well. Him and Leia together. He doesn't really want to stand that well. She doesn't either. But still works. Pretty well. Or should Luke be? How do they get more even? Okay, have them like that. Okay. I know. Okay. There's Leia. Honestly, these legs are not the greatest. I think they should have done pinless with these. This would have been way better. But there they are. I will say I do not think that they are absolutely perfect, especially here on camera. They feel very muddy on camera. But I think Carrie Fisher looks pretty good though. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Princess Padme Amidala. I think their likeness is pretty good. And I think like these new updates, like these new proportions are actually very well done. And make me appreciate actually kind of how simple these are, but very detailed still. And they look really cool as a pair. It definitely makes me want to get the rest of the crew. Give me Han. Give me Chewie. Give me a nicely articulated, updated C3PO. Please. We need a new C3PO. It is desperate. Give us a new R2 that's like all grimy and dirty. That would be good. He's all like rusted with the sand and everything. Like how he was. And some Death Star plans would be a nice accessory. Would have been nice to come with. Um, Leia. I called her Padme, didn't I? Leia. Oh yeah, because I said Padme Amidala, but this is Princess Lea Organa. W stream. Thank you, bro. Well, we're not done yet. We still got to do our comparisons with the other figures, but these are great. These are really, really cool. But I definitely need to get the rest of the crew now. That is on the docket. For sure now. Definitely going to get Han and Chewie as soon as I can.
and then hopefully we'll get a new C3PO. I know we have an R5. I need to get that because he looks really good. Well, he is good. He is that new astromech body mold that they're using. Gabe says I ordered the other 3 Timothy X Godzilla comics. Nice. I hope those are good. In April, I'll have all of them. Nice. Do they kind of like hint, like, or do they even like show like the Godzilla X TMNT like figure designs? Are those like actually in the comics? Like, is that what they actually look like? I have the first 2. Okay. So maybe this will be like later on. Maybe if they do that, that would be crazy. You should get them. I don't really read that many comics. I mainly do the toys. But like maybe, or I can look it up. The story is good. If it works. I mean, I like the whole idea of having the turtles with Godzilla, but even still, I love even more that they made those figures of them, like literally becoming those monsters, essentially, in TMNT kind of shape. I think it just works so well. And definitely, I hope that they'll be able to actually complete the set. Like, give me my Donatello, and I'll be fine. I don't get anything else but that Donatello, that's okay. Just give me that one, and I'll be good. Because him as Jet Jaguar is like, it's like, oh, that works so well. You would think of Mechagodzilla, but Jet Jaguar, that's pretty sick, though. All right. There's our. What am I doing? Okay, there's our guys. They should make the Donatello. I think it's a requirement to do that Donatello, essentially. They have to do it. And Shredder X Kiryu, is that what it is? Is that a thing? That would be cool. In the 5th comic? Ooh. I wouldn't think of like Gigan. Personally, I think that would make sense. But that's just me. Even still, would have loved to see a King Ghidorah kind of Shredder, at least in my mind. But if it's accurate to the comic, I get that. Gigan is someone else. Who else would be Gigan? Wouldn't be Krang, would it? That wouldn't make sense. Is it Krang? Because he could get rid of the buzzsaw thing. I forgot. Who would Gigan be? Who of Turtle? Who of the Turtleverse? I was like Casey Jones, but if it's a bad guy, might be like Slash. Slash would be fun. Alright. Let's get to my comparisons. First, we're going to do a round of just Luke's and Leia's. All the Luke's and Leia's that I got in my collection at this time and that I want to show off. It's a villain. Hold on, let me check right now. Okay, you're good, Gabe. You're good, bro. It's a villain. Baxter Stockman? That would be interesting. I mean, he does have wings, but that would be like Batra in my mind. Because, they have actual wings. All right. So, first we got who are my kind of main display, Luke and Leia, for a bit. So this is the Empire Strikes Back Luke from the set with him and Yoda, where Yoda was in his little backpack, but I just have him there, and then have my Leia. Let's make them more even. So kind of like the same, okay, kind of setup going on here. This looks way better. Okay. Okay, so, as Gabe says, Bebop is Gigan and Rocksteady is Destroyer. Rocksteady as Destroyer? What? That... I don't know about that. Rocksteady? The Bebop? I guess. Gigan at Bebop? They look cool though. Probably. I hope those designs are decent. That's just weird. At least in my mind. It just feels so weird. Because you have like Mikey as King Ghidorah. Which I'm kind of surprised that he's supposed to be a good guy. Because I would think of Mikey as what? Like an Anguirus? If anything. And then think of, Shredder as King Ghidorah, because it's King Ghidorah. He's the Godzilla bad guy, mainly. Then, having, like, your Mechagodzilla, maybe, see. Be like, I don't know, Rocksteady. Comics, all the monsters are bad except Ghidorah. That's just so weird to me. How? Like, is there like a Baragon? Is there like a Varan? Like, do they do Splinter or any of the good guys? Or like an April? Well, April as Mothra is like a given, I would say. I don't know about Casey. Baragon? No, that would be more Shredder. I think I've had this conversation with myself before. But that's an insane thing. I mean, we had a whole review, so go watch that. To watch me ramble more about these figures. But yeah, these are my main display ones. The Hoth Leia without the jacket. I wanted her more simple down, but still looks pretty good. But I think this Leia is definitely the front runner right now. And then including this Luke, even though I would say both of their faces aren't the most perfect for this, I do kind of think that the Empire Strikes Back is a little closer to actual Luke, if not a bit more exaggerated, and this is actually a bit softer comparatively to this. So, yeah, but I think this Luke still kind of takes it. I think he has just that essence, personally. And I think, it would be weird to have mismatching kind of Luke's and Leia's, because imagine I have this Leia with this Luke. I mean, not bad, but this just works so well. They look great. Hold on. Oh, all right. Trying to avoid this. Gabe says, I like Star Wars, but the new ones suck. Andor was good. Andor was very good, mind you. Acolyte, I haven't seen, so I can't really judge. I hear mixed things, but it's like, I don't know. I'll have to see it to really judge, but I just haven't really cared. And then what else? Ahsoka. That was fine. I quit watching since 2019. I mean, I wouldn't blame you because what? That's what, the Rise of Skywalker, the last J.J. Abrams film. I haven't seen a Star Wars thing since. Not even like Rogue One or like Solo. Solo was a surprisingly pretty good film. Unless it was an OG movie. I don't, yeah. I get that. I do get that. Because those three movies of the original are very, very well done. Are literally of their time. And great. Or even talking about prequels, but if we're talking pure OG, we're just talking about the first three. But personally, you know, a lot of people grew up on the prequels. Well, I watched the prequels too. Yeah. I mean, we've all been around. We know what they were. We grew up on them. It's also more Star Wars nostalgia. We know it's not the greatest. But it's like, alright. Like, there's something here. It's definitely not perfect. It's very freaking weird, but still kind of cool. But here we have our, my other Star Wars, A New Hope, Olu, but in his X-Wing pilot suit. Very early days for Black Series. Different time. And then also have the archived wave. Leia with the cloth goods there, and then with the head sculpt there. I don't even know if the head sculpt is different. It's not. It's the same head sculpt, but, just way better paint. Like, this is way better than this. Gabe says, I'm thinking about getting a guitar and learning how to play Master of Puppets in case I get the chance to do a talent show one day. That sounds really cool, Gabe. I would honestly encourage that greatly. You go for it, bro. Guitars are cool. Playing music's cool. It's fun. Doing talent. I love 80s music. Awesome, Gabe. Yeah, what's one of like your favorite 80s songs? Here, I'm messing with this. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Looks pretty good, but definitely a major upgrade compared to this. Oh yeah, and it is also weird that they made her flesh tone under there. So it's like, okay, like she's wearing like almost nothing. She's just wearing basically boots and like probably underwear. Compared to this where it's like supposed to be like a full like covering there. Even though I think weirdly it is accurate with this version. Oh, hi, George. What are you doing? Like, she really was wearing pants. To be honest. Let's hope so. I can't remember. She was, like, covered, like, the whole way around, so it didn't even matter. She cut the skirt.
But yeah, the cool X-Wing pilot, Luke, definitely need an upgrade at some point, but this is still good for its time. And also the head sculpt is not bad. If they used this head sculpt and just shrunk it down and put it onto this body, I think it would have been perfect, to be honest. I don't even know if they can even like really proportion out anymore because this head is so big compared to the new one here. I could try. It's very easy to take off this head. And then the other one, okay, yeah, it just has the inside of the head though, so. But even that, my favorite song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears to Fears. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good song. Nice idea. Where's this head going? Oh, stop rolling. There we go. But that's just a concept there. I think that would have been pretty good, honestly. Give me an update on this, dude. I think this is the one that they should have been going with, to be honest. Because this one, well, I think it is more well defined. I think the hair just isn't there. I think this head with this hair would go. That's it. That's like it. I can probably do that. I can probably just cut a piece out of it and then it'll be good. So that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm probably going to cut a piece out of this hair and actually make it. Because I think I can do it. Possibly. I think it's going to be alright. So. But yeah. Moving on. Alright. Comparisons, because we still got a few and we're already like more than 2 hours out. Because what is it? It's 10:30. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. Another song I like is You Spin Me Right Around. Oh, that song. Yeah, that's a fun song. Another song by Tears for Fears is Shout. I like some Metallica. Metallica's alright. Pretty cool. Actually, I do like this Luke like this too. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get them in here. Okay. I could do, and I can go on about songs I like from the 80s. Well, thanks for sharing, Gabe. Yeah, but definitely recommend. I mean, if you want to get into doing guitar stuff, I definitely recommend it. My brother does a lot of guitar stuff. Here's another Luke we got here. Have the Empire Strikes Back. The Vader, Luke Skywalker 2-pack where they came with the whole like the base set where Luke learns about Vader being his father and having the arm chopped off, and they're like fighting through this thing, and then they destroy stuff, so it's crazy. And then have Leia from the Ewok village from Return of the Jedi, who actually does look pretty great, but I got her
pretty cheap at Ollie's, so that's a nice little bonus. But she looks great. She looks amazing. So this is just a nice transition from this to this. A little older, a little bit taller, but been through some stuff. I mean, the start, the very bad. Like, getting your ass beat, bro. By your dad? Boom, 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 boom. Mr. Sandman. Oh, Mr. Sandman. Give me a dream. You're the cutest that I've ever seen. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Alright. So then our last, well, just our final Luke comparison. Don't got any more Leias, but got one more Luke. Like roses, give him tulips, like roses and clovers. Here's our sequel trilogy. Luke with a custom head from Star Wars Geek. I think his name is Customs. Excuse me, sorry. When the night's all over. Oh yeah, when the night's all over. But yeah. But there's our Luke. Looking pretty good. A cool scope. Yeah, it's a cool scope. Sculpt. And this is kind of an older custom head, but you know, I think he looks pretty good. I didn't mind the whole like the design of Luke. Like I think he looked good, but it's just like just that whole story, man. It's just so much. That's one thing I like about Stranger Things. What, the 80s music is in the 80s. I mean, that's like the whole thing, isn't it? Especially like in that first season, apparently. It's like, all right, here's all your nostalgia. Nostalgia. Oh, demon, murder. What? Nostalgia. Murder, demon, upside down, ABCD, Christmas lights, or whatever was happening there. All right, but our next comparison, and moving on to kind of the more broader Star Wars kind of universe, but kind of on the good side, also trying to stay the boundaries of the first two movies and, you know, the OG trilogy and not get too much because a lot of, you know, because these are like the first movie versions, so they don't really see too much yet, but wanted to get my variety in there. You should definitely watch it. I'll watch it someday, Gabe. But here is R2. Honestly, looks perfect with them. The perfect size, perfect look. He's still kind of clean at the beginning. Though I would say it still would have been nice to get a little, you know, a little Death Star plans to come with Leia as well. Okay, I should stop talking about Stranger Things and 80s stuff. Alright, you're good, Kay. Man, bro. You just yapping. Alright, but here's our Yoda. Here are Luke. And then got who is this? I forget his name. But this is the Ewok. Green Man. Little green man. But yeah, it's your little variety there. Different kind of size characters. A bit smaller, but you got R2 there for classic two Sachem for droids, basically, and then two weird little alien dudes. You know, and one of them is one of is like he's the is like the strongest Jedi kind of ever, the wisest, oldest, whatever. He was like what, like 100 or like almost 1,000, whatever the hell he died at. He was old as shit, bro. It was a lot. Like, oh shit. How old is this motherfucker? Oh, he dying? Well, see ya, master. Wait, what? I got another? Yeah, there's another Skywalker. And I probably already know them. What the hell? Alright. Moving on. Oh. To continue the trend of like weird little guys, but these do actually work, I think, personally. For this, we got a couple of Ewoks. I know they're both the same size. Two normal ones. They're not too bad. And then for one of the other movies, we got Lando for another main character. Of course, they don't meet him until the second movie. Luke basically doesn't even know this guy kind of at all. He's just in the Millennium Falcon as the one saving him. In some context, I guess, but you know. Lando be Lando. Oh, I got a freaking paint mark there. That's awful. Bruh. Well, that's why I have it back here mostly. Because I kind of like it when it's not so billowing. But this is like the third movie look anyway, so. Okay. Whatever. But the Ewoks look great. Need more weird Tatooine stuff. Alright, then next, for more different aliens, have these dudes who play the cantina music. Have a couple of these dudes. Okay. Who don't really want to do their thing because they're weird. But yeah, it's kind of to give you a variety, and then, you know, early in the cantina with Luke. And then one more specifically for Tatooine. And honestly, one of my favorite figures, I think, in Black Series and kind of all of Star Wars. The Tusken Raiders, aka Sand People, as Obi-Wan calls them. The Sand People. Like, bro, they're called Tusken Raiders. Get a Godzilla figure, please. I mean, I can grab one. Does a TMNT Godzilla figure sound good? Is that okay, bro? Or you want a true Godzilla? Yeah, alright. Cool. But look at those Tusken Raiders, though. They look so freaking good. They have so much variety each. Because I got like 4 of them. And each of them have all their different accessories, so they're all different and specific. They look great. All right. All right. All right. These guys. Here's our Godzilla X Leonardo figure. No. But he's a really cool figure. He's a lot of fun. Really like him. Thanks, man. Ain't no problem. No problem, bro. Oh yeah, also did want to mention. Y'all can see him. I did move. I did get the new Spider-Man 2099 already on the shelf. Kind of redid this a bit, so so I actually have more room. Oh, excuse me. Nice, yeah. I love that new Spider-Man 2099. Sorry I didn't get that short up until like freaking yesterday. I've been like, it's always like after Friday, it's like I'm out. I'm just like I'm dead, bro. I have to like take 2 days to like get back into the groove, and I'm like struggling because life is the struggle right now. But we getting through. The work schedule kicking my ass. I'm like I need something. That's what this is for, though. All right, we're gonna get on over to our bad guys, villains, the dark side, Sith, and kind of the Empire part of our section. Not too much. A good amount. I just heard Playmates lost the license to TMNT. Yeah, they did. I think they announced that like last week or like early this week. Because I think they're going to Mattel now. Because they released something like that. But here's our Star Wars A New Hope Darth Vader with a custom wired cape from a stop motion Rob. Shout out to Rob. This was kind of parts of his recipe. So where I have his lightsaber that has like this glowing kind of paint on it, so it's really cool. And then put the SH Figure Arts hand onto this body, and then also gave it the wired like the little like the cloth pieces at the bottom too. So it looks really cool. It looks awesome. And then my personal actually main shelf, probably Vader, is the Empire Strikes Back Vader. Just my favorite helmet design, just my favorite look for this character, and the cape is great. The sculpt, the articulation, it's a lot of fun. And cool ass figures, cool ass Vaders, dads, the two versions of dad that we got going on. So yeah. Then I'll do the two stormtroopers. Who can't stand sometimes as well. But they look good. They work very well. Lots of white. These actually do work super well together. I mean, the stormtroopers are iconic. So are these characters. All right, but cool. And then our final comparisons. What we doing is, hold on. The Moff. No, this is Tarkin. Ooh, Admiral Tarkin, I think. Grand Admiral. No, Governor Tarkin. Governor Tarkin. Whatever she said in that scene. Played by Peter Cushing. Really cool seeing him. And then we just got the straight up just the Emperor. Bro's here. Bro's always here. Bro is always lurking. Being weird. Being the master manipulator. It's crazy. What fun. Fun figures. So yeah. Hope y'all have enjoyed. We will. I think I will still do my usual thing. We get all of our figures that we've looked at. Get them back out here. All lined up. It's a great. You might not get a wave 2 of the TMNT X Godzilla. Maybe not, but I'm hoping that they will. Because they got the whole year, so I would think that they've been working on this. I hope they will. There is this game called Kaiju Multiverse. It's a great Godzilla game. It's on Roblox. I've played it. Okay, cool. I personally don't play Roblox, so I can't really judge too much on it. Can this be like straight on, or is this being weird? I hate this. Okay. Sorry, my whole brain right now is just fried. Okay. Like a few hours ago, they added a Heisei Godzilla. Hopefully my mic is not awful. Sorry. I'm struggling with this thing. Oh. His ultimate is burning Godzilla. That's crazy. Okay, let me get these guys. Front and center. Okay. I was going to do my... Maybe I don't want to do this. I think I'm just... I don't want it to end it just now. I want to actually get all these out here. Because this isn't that much of a fuss, really. Let's put them where I can put them. Well, okay. Oh yeah, Luke. Getting back here. And then after Leia, who do I want to do next to her? Could do Lando. We'll just do R2. Because it's R2. How would I not? I think, of course, we gotta do Vader's. Oh, right there in the middle. Because they're the big guys. Double Vaders. The other side of Emperor in the back. In the middle. Lurking back there as always. Then we'll get Yoda. The Ewok guy. Forget his name. Feel bad about it, but he's cool. Then we'll get Lando. We'll get Tarkin. Wherever he can go. Maybe we just do Emperor in the middle. Just straight up. There we go. I'll just put the Vaders right next to him. That's the best that I can. Okay, there we go. Next, we'll get the. Well, we gotta get darken in here. What do we get on Luke's side then? We'll get a Tuscan Raider in here. Ooh, well, maybe more so Lando on that side, and then do Lando might be a better fit there. Okay. Hold on. We're switching things up. Well, then where do these guys go? Back there in the back. I don't know. Here, we're gonna do. Yes, so we're gonna do Lando over here. That's first and foremost. So he's clear and prominent. Still back there. Then we're gonna do Stormtrooper. This side. And a Stormtrooper on this side. All right. But what if I do Tuscan Raider over here then? I do the other one because he'll fit better. There they are, like barely. And our other Tuscan Raider, I could just like bring up my camera probably a bit. Probably be fine. All of them aligned. Yep. Gabe says bye, Justin. Bye, Gabe. Hope you have a good night. Thank you for joining me in the live stream. Yeah, we'll be ending off in a minute here. No, we can't do that.
More so back there, and then I can get the other one here. That's not too bad. Okay, so they're all there. And then these Cantina guys, and then this other Ewok. Other Ewok will go behind the other one and not be seen, and that's fine. And alien dudes. Just go in the back. Unless I don't knock anything over, that's all I care about. Or I'm just not even gonna include them. That sucks because they are not making me happy. Okay, I guess not. There's that one. Okay, we're just not gonna deal with that. Okay. I'm gonna say goodnight. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. Y'all have a good weekend. Yeah, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Like, already happy Valentine's to y'all out there who celebrate. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I shall see y'all next week. It's Friday. Gotta see what we're doing. Probably something other else that's cool. So yeah. But y'all have a good night. Be sure like this video or the live stream if you're here live. Comment what you want to see here on the channel, and of course, subscribe. Subscribe. Let's get to 400 subscribers. That would be awesome. But thank y'all to who give the support. Shout out my top fans that are here for the live stream on this leaderboard thing. So Gabe is at number one at 150 XP, and just Decker, who has a WWE thing there, has 75 XP. So thank you all for joining me. Yeah, I'll have a good one. Be cool. Do you? These figures are great. Nice updates. A lot of fun. Star Wars is cool. Have a good one. Good night.